Good day, fellow Nigerians. Welcome to the last episode of this video series titled The Art of Dislodging the Nigerian Oligarchy Without Violence or Risk of Bloodshed. In the last episodes, I mentioned the three most powerful instruments of the oligarchy anywhere in the world, and these are clearly in practice in our country today by the political elites who are obviously in minority. Well, as a recap, the first instrument of the bad elites is division, which is divide and conquer. This demonstrates that it's easier for a process to conquer the people by dividing them in fractions or setting them up against each other. This is because they are afraid of the power of unity. That's very clear. Second instrument of the oligarchy is money. Using the monetary system to weaponize poverty and keep the people perpetually in poverty and economically powerless for the rest of their lives. But today, I will be discussing the third instrument of the oligarchy, which is fear of intimidation, or just intimidation, but comes out of fear, right? Intimidation can be described as the use of force or superior power to discourage people from certain activities or thoughts, or to enforce certain oppressive activities or thoughts, against the will of the people. Intimidation may be physical or psychological and could be used in a wide range of situations. But in this context, I will be discussing its use in politics and how we could harness the principles and our understanding of intimidation and fear to douse and resist the impact of intimidation effectively in our civic actions. What makes intimidation very powerful is the provocation of fear. Fear. And what makes fear very powerful is death. Or one could say the fear of death or the fear of harm sometimes. Especially when you are not confident of your support system, or you are aware that your support system is very limited. So it provokes this sense of fear, for survival or in order to be safe. But fear, as it is, in my own understanding, is an acronym that stands for false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. What does that mean? So it means that whatever I could do to firstly make you accept that certain event or occurrences could be real as a negative motivation to enforce certain behavioral change in you, then I will do that. All I just want to do is to make sure that I convince you that that is real, and that will provoke the fear in you for you to behave in any way I want you to behave. It's another kind of hostage, right? So fear is powerful because it targets our mind, and it is formed in our mind, and we turn it to reality and we start responding to its dictates. However, in some cases, if not in many cases, the only way for our process in their small numbers to make fear look real is to actually use real physical intimidation and molestation of a few people, then inciting fear in the minds of the millions of other people. And then the people will believe that it is real, give up, and then allow criminality and rascality to have its way. This is a well-theorized model often practiced in the jungle. Have you wondered why just two lions can intimidate tens of thousands of buffaloes in the jungle? When all the buffaloes are intimidated, they become afraid and they back out and they run away. A few buffaloes who run alone or are separated from the group becomes easy and soft targets to get. So the strategy of the lion is to keep creating fear that would make the buffaloes always run away and scatter, and make a few of them vulnerable for the lions to launch on. So in this way, the two lions can take the buffaloes one after the other until they conquer thousands of buffaloes. But have you also seen another situation where all the buffaloes conquered fear and attacked the lions together, or even moved together to save one buffalo in the captivity of the lions? The lions always become afraid of the buffaloes in group actions and they flee for their lives. This is a typical example of all the lessons we need to learn for us to win this battle for the soul of Nigeria from our oppressors. Just know today that when you are afraid of the political predators, the worst approach to your safety is to try to back out because you want to save your life alone, or you think itself. But the strongest approach is actually to move together, moving out together at once and try to save others who are in captive. That is to say, to seek justice for others, lend your voice, encourage one another, offer help and care to those who are down in the struggle. Step out of your comfort zone for those who are weak when you can. Because if you don't, predators will certainly get to you someday and you can't fight alone. So in practice and in context, We won't fight physical battle. We won't fight physically or with weapons like the predators and their cronies will do. That's the only instrument of intimidation that they depend on. And never mind, we won't toe the path of Sudan. Please pray for Sudan. I wish they know better, and we all wish they find peace soon. We are here to show the only way to freedom through the power of civility. We will apply all civic might and wisdom we have. We will learn how to fight differently, like never before and like never done anywhere else in the world, should our predators insist to withhold the people's mandates to continue to prey on us. Let me say this: fear of harm or death is a natural instinct of survival. So there is nothing wrong when you need to fear for your life naturally or avoid harm. However, mind you that our brothers and sisters who died in the past in the hands of the political predators did not die by choice. They were also afraid to die, but death came to them forcefully when they could no longer save themselves. They fell victim to the very inevitable that they feared most, in a gruesome manner that we can never wish our enemies. They were powerless to save themselves at that moment. Do we think that we are better than them or immune if you allow the same criminality and rascality to continue because you want to save yourself alone? You actually save yourself more when you learn how to protect others. For me, I think we need to face this fear. We need to cross this line once and for all so that we die no more. Not that we will never die. We will still die, but at least we will have only two beautiful options to die for. Die a natural death or die for what is right, so that your children will live for you and be proud of their country in their time. The other options are to die for what is wrong. That is for those being used by the predators against their own brothers, or to die in fear for those who are afraid of the predators and they die running away from them. Lastly, considering these three powerful instruments of the oligarchy discussed in this video series, watch out for my next national broadcast, in which I will share with the new Nigerian people the very unique and most powerful civic strategies and actions to humble our political predators and any oligarchy in the world, based on the principles I have shared in this video series over time. If those strategies will be owned and actively practiced by common Nigerians who want a new Nigeria that works for everyone, we shall set the pace in the world in expressing the extraordinary civic action of the people against their predators with minimal or no bloodshed. See you then. Stay well and stay safe as we count down to restoration of our mandates. God bless you.